need the money that really own it.
So what?
The fighting not the money that really own it. But whatever. Um, yeah. What's going on here? What's going on here? You want me to get your phone?
No, maybe needs to try.
Oh, you want the charger?
Uh-huh.
You sure? I don't even see it. Where is it? Oh.
Hello. Hello, Devon Goss.
I think Gems.
10:43.
10:43.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about to what's her name? Naima?
Naima.
Naima.
Yeah.
Let's say 10:30.
Yeah.
Nah, Naima, you late a couple of
You got a call.
yeah, had to give a call real fast, but that's to the kid. And now you have my undivided attention. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. Sometimes I might,
I have dropsies.
drift off. But then I come back. Want me to just jump in?
Please.
Okay.
Because it's late.
All right. Welcome to another daily dose of DOS.
Dose. The dose. The
Bong
dose.
bong.
The dose of DOS because it's our
Continue.
second time.
No,
Yeah,
the thing.
Wait.
Yeah, bong bong.
But listen,
What?
I'm trying to point out that this is our second
Oh
time
yeah, the second
today.
time today.
Yeah, this is our dose of DOS.
Yeah, I now get you.
This is the way I do it.
It's always been like that.
No, but no, like okay, all right.
You see?
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
You finished? No.
I just was saying.
All right. Well, I didn't want to, All right, look. Okay, so like the little woman was saying, the little lady, little sexy lady, like she was saying, this is our second go around because we've been having technical difficulties,
Technical difficulties.
One day we didn't have power, the next day the Wi-Fi went out.
It was crazy.
It was bonkers. It was a lot going on. It's a lot going on.
And it went out again earlier today.
Yeah.
So luckily it got back on so we could do both of these.
Yeah. So we, once the plug in, we kind of rushed to do it because we know the power will go back out. Like some things going on down here now. It's like, somebody sneezed too hard, the power go out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Now we don't, when we sneeze, we cover with both hands. But so look, I guess a couple days ago when we did our daily dose, I said something. I said we was talking about the riverboat brawl.
Yeah.
And I said we are not your grandfather's niggas. And in doing so, well, let me rewind slightly. So today, I seen a post where someone else was saying, we are not our ancestors, and it made me think that saying that we are not our ancestors or saying that we are not your grandfather's niggas, things of that nature might be slightly disrespectful, or even though I mean, me personally, I didn't mean it to be disrespectful. I know there is a generation where to be meek and to be quiet was to be safe. To accept certain things as status quo was to be safe. Um, and I don't think it was it. I don't think it's. I'm trying to find the right word without being. Um, I don't think they were wrong to want to be safe. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody wants to be safe.
You know, zip these knees.
Absolutely not. I need to keep my knees safe.
What about
Anyway,
I need you to frontal massage.
hey, look, we were just talking about you.
Hey,
I know we
Naima.
was a little late, man. I had to take this phone call.
We sure did.
We live and in color now, though.
Yes.
Um. So, like I'm saying, yes, we say these things, and when we say we are not our ancestors or we are not your grandfather's niggas and things of this nature, like I said, I don't think it's meant to be disrespectful, but it can be perceived as disrespect. And to be quite honest, I don't think I'm going to say that anymore.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
Because at the end of the day, even if you feel as though they were being cowardice, scary, whatever, the decisions that they did make made it possible for you to be standing where you are at.
Right here, right.
So, you know, even if you are able to pick up that sword and stand on that battlefield, you're able to do that because of the decisions they made. So if their decision to be safe, to be meek, to be quiet, to accept things as status quo, so you can stand up and fight. So to say that you are not them in a manner to which is though like, yeah, because we stand up and fighting. One is not always it's not entirely true, but that's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, it would be I think it is. I think it is disrespectful. And again, like I said, I didn't say it to be disrespectful. It wasn't my intention. And I might actually owe some people some apologies. I don't know if I'm gonna give them, but I might owe 'em. I'm not sure yet. I gotta think about it because I do feel some kind of way about that generation.
Yeah.
Them
Boomers.
damn boomers.
Them boomers.
No,
Them
no,
boomers.
them damn boomers.
Boomers be cooners.
Yeah. So when I say we are not your grandfathers, I'm referring to them. But again, like I said, um, their decision to be meek and to be quiet and to kind of like fall back to be safe. Like again, like I said, everybody wants to be safe.
Iron. What?
Yeah.
What is up now? Oh my gosh.
Blessings, bless up.
Very cool. I really appreciate y'all coming in here tonight.
But yeah. So the disrespect. I think I am being about it. So if I offended anyone by saying that, I do apologize. I do because I felt some kind of way when I heard Obey say we are not our ancestors, and um, I felt some kind of way. Like I'm like, oh, bro, what you mean? I mean, we literally stand on the shoulders of giants. I mean, I don't. It don't matter that they, like, I mean, from slavery, pre-slavery, post-slavery, whatever, we stand on the shoulders of giants, and that can never, ever, ever be denied. Because to go through what they went through, and then still we still stand, and still we rise. I would never ever say I am not my ancestors because they flow through me. Like I am them, they are me. So yeah, I felt some kind of way when I heard old boy say it. And again, I think he meant it. He meant it. He might need that. Um, I think he meant it the same way I meant it. Like I don't think he was trying to be disrespectful, but at the same time, I think like I said, I felt some kind of way, and then I had to kind of like think back, like, damn, I just did the same bullshit. I just didn't go all the way back. I just went a couple generations back, or actually one generation.
Yeah.
But I did the same thing, and I'm pretty sure it was probably a couple of boomers. They might have tuned in, and they might have felt some kind of way. So again, if I offended anybody, I'm apologizing. You know, because again, the decisions y'all made it possible for me to be standing here, and for me to spew my stuff. And but old boy, man, I don't even know where to post that, man. I can't even find the damn thing. But I wish I would have shot him a cat. Like, yo, bro, you you should rethink those words.
Yeah.
You know. But I've heard that a lot though over the years. We are not our ancestors, especially like I want to say the last couple of years. I've heard that a lot, and I never really, until today. It was like I don't know, man. Like kind of made me feel some kind of way. I don't know. Does that mean I'm more in tune now? I was. Or I'm just paying attention.
I think that you are more aware.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, you wanna check them in?
Yeah, I that's something that I've heard like a while back, or that was a discussion that was kind of being had amongst amongst I guess certain soundboards, and they were just like, yeah, when you say we're not our, don't get it twisted. Like, the what our ancestors endured is far more was far more, brutal than what we've endured. So it's just like, when we say, hey, we're not our ancestors, you're talking about you ain't the Harriet Tubmans, you ain't the Jane Pittmans,
Right.
you ain't the Ida B. Wells, you ain't the Malcolm X's. Like, yes, you would hope that you're every bit of that. So, um, I never I don't want to say never, but I usually shy away from I already had it up
Did you?
there.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. You can put up his comment now. Yeah, that one's the one to put
mm,
up.
mm.
Yeah, I think that I've kind of pretty much always tried to steer clear of that because I've always had a very um I I I've all don't want to say always, but I've often just tried to kind of connect with that reality of just being kind of very proud of where where we came from or what my ancestry was. And I remember just growing up, my grandmother always used to tell us, we come from strong stock. We come from strong stock. And I just remember her saying that as far back as I can like remember the first time her even talking. My earliest memories of her were her saying that. And, I never knew what that meant. And then like when I got maybe into my late teens and definitely into college, and now I was hearing other people talk about their backgrounds, and we're four back generations of college grads. Like that's unheard of. There were a lot of people when I was going to school. They were the first of their families to go to college, and my grandparents, at least on my mom's side, grandparents and great grandparents, also they went to college, and there were uh, I have four siblings, and we all went to college, and like it was as I got older, I started to appreciate these certain uh, nuances that I didn't care for growing up. Like I used to skip over kind of what my family was doing, and I would always look at kind of other accolades. Like I remember my sister really got mad at me one time for our dance tryout. We had to write who was our like greatest influence. And when I was, 16, my greatest influence was Michael Jordan. So that's who I wrote. And I remember she was so mad. Yeah, Kim. Because Kim picked me up after the tryout and she was like, oh, so how was it? And I was telling her what happened. And, she was like, so, and she was like, crazy. Like,
wait, this was a dance?
Yeah, a dance tryout. Yeah, yeah. And they said, who's like your biggest influence? And she was like, why would you put mom? And I was like, mom doesn't dance. And I was like, well, she
Neither does
does.
Mike.
She dance. Michael does dance. He dances. He danced all over the Knicks in the garden
Why you
plenty
gonna
of
go
time.
there? Why you going there? This is about to go left. This is about to go left. I got to
He
see.
did it. He was moonwalking, walking on air. Mike.
See. Man, you about to start something different.
MJ. Anyway.
No,
So at any
becoming
rate,
crazy right now.
I remember feeling really bad, and I was glad that she made me feel bad, because I hadn't even thought of my mom, and I hadn't really thought about the fact that here I was, the youngest of five, and my mom had successfully put everybody in. My mom and dad they had put five of us through strong stocking. Yeah, that was that. So, I remember at the time I was mad at her and she was like, do you want me to do you want something from Taco Bell? I used to love Taco Bell. And she was like, do you want some Taco Bell? And I was just like, no. And I remember just thinking back on that. Like I was mad at her for making me feel bad. And then she still offered to like get me something that I liked. And I was just like, no. Like I was being
That's what
I
Keon
was
gets
being
from.
yeah, that is where Keon gets it from. I know.
No.
Yeah. He gets it
No.
earnestly.
No.
But I reflect back on that moment, a lot during my life and yeah, so it's the ancestors, it's the same thing. Like I don't ever want to pass up an opportunity to pay that homage, even though of course Malcolm X is up in my home, but my son is named for Malcolm and named for Martin. I'm Malcolm and Martin. Malcolm and my dad, my daughter is named for my grandmother and she has, her father's middle name. So, like I make sure that homage is paid because indirectly, like I don't just look at, like I said, the outside of my lineage, even though I'm sure some type of way I must be related to Malcolm because I love him too much, and my mom loved him so much, and I think I love Malcolm so much because my mom totally revered Malcolm. But I try to make sure that it's a direct connection. And my daughter she was supposed to be named for Harriet Tubman, actually. She was going to be named Araminta. Araminta, that's her real name. Araminta is Harriet's real name. And I just always thought that was really beautiful. And it just reminded me of like amethyst, especially since my favorite color is purple. But her dad disagreed because we had before we even were active, we said we wanted to name our daughter her name, and because it was a combination of both of our names. And so I remember I presented that to him after after I was a few months, and he was just like, no, it's and there was another name too I was looking at. And he was just like, what are you talking about? Like, this is supposed to be her name. Like, we're together for her existence. And I just remember just thinking, it was so profound for a number of reasons. But yeah, so we ended up, of course, sticking to the script and naming her that. But Araminta was in my catalog. Araminta. It was Aramintie, but it was pronounced the T-A. Araminta.
Too hard to spell.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's because you like a spelling bee champ or something.
Yeah, it would have been fine. The same way we learned how to
anything
spell
over like
anything else.
5 letters is just too much.
No. My name is Courtney Omega. That's
You know how long it took me to, like, I had to do what's the name so it come up on my spell check on the phone. Yeah.
Are you serious right now? He thought I made up my name too when we met. It was like, he's like, how'd you come up with that? And I was like,
it's
my
Courtney
parents,
Omega. So
my
I'm like,
parents came up
okay.
with it.
And it's not like you said a last name, so I'm thinking Omega is, and I didn't see you made it up. I mean,
you did. You were implying like I made it up. You said, how did I come up with that?
I did.
So that makes it sound like I made it up.
And then he was like, nah.
Yeah,
that's my real name.
Yeah,
I said, my
parents came up with it.
It was like, my bad. I think she pulled the knife.
We were on the phone.
I heard it come out.
Whatever. We were on the phone, and I said that I was the last of 5, and my parents came up with it. And he was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's on the ID and everything. It's my name. It is my name, and I am it." So strong stop. Without their strength and perseverance, they would have given up, and where would that have left us? Exactly. That's right. Come on. Okay, so is DWL dancing with license? Is that that's what that DWL?
That's it. Oh my God.
It says DWL, so I'm thinking that because we were talking about dancing. Yeah, so I'm thinking that might have been. What does DWL stand for, Iron? And Iron, are you still in Virginia or the DMV area? Dead with laughter. Oh. That is new. And it's funny that you should put that on there because my son is always getting on me. He's just like, you're not like, you think you're all caught up with these acronyms and whatnot.
I don't know.
These abbreviations. You don't know. And I'm like, oh, I know them. I know them. I know them. Massachusetts. Dang. I don't care what time of the year it is. I just always think of places like Massachusetts still being cold. I'm like, do y'all get a summer? Do y'all get a summer or what? Y'all get a summer?
I think they summer shorter than New York summer.
It's a Jamaican thing. I like it. So any other topics or
what, me?
Yeah. Because it's chilly now. I know it's. I've never. I think I told you this before though, but my best friend, she went to Bates. She went to Bates College in Lewiston, Maine, and yeah, she just said it was always kind of, it was always a hint of chill. It wasn't getting hot. It wasn't getting hot like that. 70s isn't bad.
70 what?
70s. The degrees, yeah. He said it's 70s
Depending
right
where
now.
you at and what time of year.
Yeah, but it's
August.
now
70 degrees is low.
And that's just 70.
It's August though. August is supposed to be like one of the hottest,
It's supposed to be the hottest time of the year.
Yeah, so
the dog days, the last days of
70
summer.
degrees. It should be after midnight if it's 70 degrees. Man, I don't know when I was on the highway coming down here. I might have been leaving. I don't know which way I was going. I don't know if I was coming or going. But yo, it was 95 degrees, and it was like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, what kind of?
That's like Arizona. Arizona, it'd be like 92 degrees, and it was like, sun been down for 2-3 hours, and in the desert, it's supposed to get like this chill, and so that's when somebody was like, no, you got to actually be like out in the desert for that to happen.
Yeah, there's something
you just riding around. It doesn't happen like that.
Because I know.
You said it's been cold all week.
Oh, sheesh. Because look.
That's how you like to do it anyway.
Oh, Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not even like this
So
is
you like
this the
the
rag. But you would think it would cool down. Nah, I'd come up out that thing. And the only reason I put a shirt on and going still pay for gas. And to pay for gas. But yeah, he put a shirt on to Virginia. We in Georgia.
yeah,
Virginia, I'm pretty much halfway home.
yeah.
This is in Lexington. Is that Lexington, Virginia? Where that Sheets is at? That's
Yeah,
Lexington, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah. And that's literally halfway to the Bronx. It's like the halfway point right there. But that's crazy. Anyway, um, so wait, what?
oh, he said, what do you think about all the immigrants in the big city, the prices, etc.? Mm.
All right. You know what? I'll sidetrack. Listen. This is my thing, right? Um, I think especially in places tourist towns, to be real specific, especially in tourist towns where there's like a plethora of restaurants and hotels and things of this nature. Um, I think them towns actually need these immigrants to survive. Let me tell you why. Because if we take these jobs and we, meaning those who were born in this country, we're not gonna work for those wages. We're not. We're not gonna work. The turnover is gonna be stupid, ridiculous, and the only ones who's gonna take them jobs and kind of like do them is like kids in school on summer jobs and things of that nature. We ain't working those jobs, not for those wages. And then if we are gonna be there, we're gonna try to unionize and all sorts of stuff, and these things they gonna go under. But the Ecuadorian, the Mexican, the Colombian, the who else? Pretty much anything south of the border. Um, they'll work these jobs, and they will work them till their fingers bleed. They gonna do these things, and you're not gonna get no lip from them. They're not gonna complain, and they're gonna be there every day. And actually, they can do overtime. They gonna do all these things. We ain't doing that shit. We not. We not. So like spots like Florida, California, especially where they got all the fields with the migrant workers and all that stuff,
Yeah.
the farms and the stuff like that. Um, what else? Like I said, all these tourist towns. I give you a prime example. Like 20 years ago, right? I was working at Showboat and Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. So they didn't have enough people to work these casinos because you had to get a casino license to work on the casino floor. And like between criminal records, just people being in the system. Like if you got a criminal record, you're not depending on the job. You can work in a hotel, but you ain't getting a casino license to get on that floor. I think it's changed now though, because shit, I was able to get one. I was able to get one rather easily too. Um, but back then you couldn't do it. So what the casinos did was this, right? They brung in a bunch of Indians from India, brought them all in, and put them in those spots. Got them visas, the whole 9 yards. Put them up in certain hotels that was like on I think the Black Horse Pike, some hotels in the city, but they gave them housing.
Well,
Um,
it's the main thing.
yeah, but in the process, what they did was they cut the wages. Cut the wages, so like they didn't have to pay them 12, 13. Well, I didn't remember this 20 years ago. So 12, 13, $15 an hour. You balling hard. Um, they was able to pay them. $7.50, $8 an hour, which is like I think at the time was minimum wage. If I'm not mistaken, I believe minimum wage was like 7.50, 7.65.
7.25.
7.20 was that low?
Mm-hmm.
All right, it was 7.25. That's what minimum wage was. So they's paying a minimum wage. I know when I got the showboat lending department, I think I was like at $10 or 9.50, something like that. That moved up to $10. Either way, I was getting paid more than them. But this is what they did, and they justified saying, well, now we giving them housing, so we ain't got to pay them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what they do. And they didn't complain, they didn't bitch, they didn't moan, none of that stuff. These dudes, man, they showed up every day for work. Me, I couldn't wait till I got vacation time. I'm taking that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got like for every like 40 hours, you got like a 2 hours vacation time or some, whatever it was, I forget. But I know when I got that 8 hours, what? Yo, yeah, let me get that vacation time. I'm taking a day off. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So but they didn't do that. Like I was working with this one dude, I forget his name, something Patel. This dude had been working there for 4 years and hadn't taken a day off in 4 years. I was there 4 weeks and took 3 days off. So this is what they do. Like they not gonna complain. They just gonna do the job and they gonna do whatever you ask them to do. And they gonna come to work. So yeah, the immigration thing, like people be sitting there whining and complaining about they taking jobs from good hard working Americans, blah 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 blah. Man, you motherfuckers ain't getting in them fields.
Yeah.
Y'all not washing those dishes.
Yeah.
Y'all not sweeping them floors. Y'all ain't popping them corners on them beds. Y'all ain't doing none of that. Y'all ain't doing none of that. And my first job in the casino was in the linen department. I couldn't wait to transfer to that. Couldn't wait. I was handling clean linen. I ain't even had the nasty job with all that nasty shit coming down the chute. Nah, I ain't even had that job. I was messing with the clean linen. I hated that job. I couldn't wait to transfer to that spot. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't making no beds. I was just handing out the sheets, to maids or whatever. But I'm like, man, I'm gonna do this. Jump to security. I wanted to be with the actions. I want to hit that flow. Be the casino flow. You know what I mean? But anyway, what I'm saying is this: like we're not doing those jobs, and they gonna do those jobs. So they I think like for and these business owners, they know this. That's why when they when like down in Florida with what's this clown name? We was just talking about this dude too. DeSantis, like all this bullshit going with them. I can guarantee you, man, the business owners, especially small business owners, you guys that own them restaurants and stuff like that, they can't survive without them. They can't. They gonna be understaffed. When he did what he did with the talking about deporting people, whatever,
Yeah.
and nobody showed up for work. Nobody. Like they had whole construction sites shut down. Shut down. See what I'm saying? And like, look, certain towns, certain states, and Florida's a big tourist state. That's they main source of revenue is tourism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It ain't them goddamn oranges. It's tourism.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. So, like when we say things like shit, even here in Athens.
Yeah.
Even here in Athens. Here it is, we right smack in the middle of Georgia. Even in Athens, like so these jobs that like there's always help wanted signs in all these restaurants or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't have like a huge um
In the
south of the
restaurants
border.
and the hotels.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
have like a huge south of the border population, but it is here. And they the ones that have all these jobs. They have all these jobs. Like all the low level construction jobs, the cleanup guys, they do all that. I ain't doing that shit. I'm a carpenter. I'm a welder.
Hey,
You know what
sis.
I'm saying?
Sis, you need to try to come on down for our camp out cookout on Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
Yes, they need to do it legally. Actually, Iron had a couple of things to say that we were highlighting. Thank you so much, Iron. He said you should do more of this. You should come on more. Yes, so we are. This has been the commitment so that we could get back to kind of the routine schedule
Mm-hmm.
that I used to have. We're doing a daily dose of DOS, and these are usually earlier in the day, but we did have a lot of technical difficulties this week, so we have been slowed up. But definitely, oh, your mom is in hospice. Oh, sis, I'm so sad to hear that. Okay, so definitely prayers going up for you, sis. Prayers going up.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Yeah,
Let me answer that question though. When I
yeah,
asked it,
yeah.
they should do it legally.
Mm.
Um, okay, so what purpose does that serve? Them doing it legally? So they, I mean, like it, because to me, like, okay, so saying that getting a piece of paper to say that you can work a job that nobody else wants.
Mm.
That's basically what it is. That's what
Mm.
that is. Because again, how many beds you gonna make? You say they should do it legally, right? How many beds you gonna make? How many dishes you gonna wash? You know, say if you out there in California, you gonna get in them fields. It's hot as hell in them fields. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. Listen, earlier today I was out in the back in the garden. All I did was 1, 2, 3, plant 4 lines, 3 feet. So it's 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 feet. I was drenched in sweat. Couldn't wait to get the hell from back there, back in the house. You can go out there and pick 10 hours? Yeah, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I ain't doing that. So you say do it legally, right? Okay.
What he's saying because he also is an immigrant, and so
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's saying that go because becoming a citizen also or doing it legally also it protects as much as it does you know um classifies or qualifies you on the citizenship side to have certain rights to certain things. It also is a protective measure as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think, yeah, but if you have a ton of illegal immigration, you strain the system. It's hard enough
Yeah,
already.
I hear that all the
Yeah, I don't
time.
believe that.
I
And
neither do I.
I'm coming
I
from
don't.
Miami, and it's very interesting that they can kind of make this argument when it's Haiti and when it's Africa, but when it's Cuba or the Dominican Republic, um, when it is Poland, as we saw recently, there's a plan for how immigrants are used to actually mobilize voting structures.
Mm-hmm.
They're able to organize them collectively to support certain taxes. They're able to use the quantity of them to justify housing, infrastructure, economic grants, community development, that sort of thing. But again, it's the right, it's the complexion for the protection of these immigrants, and
Look,
so that's why I don't usually make that argument
I
because
do you
usually
one
that
better.
sides on, you know,
I,
yeah, straining the system only becomes a
I'm,
strain when it's us.
I'm gonna do you one better.
Yeah.
Say strain the system. So if I'm wrong, please correct me. I'm assuming you're talking about funds,
Mhm.
and if you gotta put money over here and divert from here and do all this other stuff, and then people missing out over here because the money got to go there. Again, if I'm wrong in assuming this, please correct me. Now, Ukrainians, since this is the newest thing, with them coming over here, whatever, so-called legally, they find the funds to do that
This is
ASAP,
this is heating up. Y'all waking me up right now
right? They
because
immediately find funds in all the so whatever,
yeah,
right?
agreed.
So these are funds that was already in existence. It's not funds that had to be diverted from over here, from over there, from over there. Trust and believe, man, this country prints money. It may be phony, baloney, monopoly money, but they print money. Like it's not. This is not. And like my wife says, if COVID proved one thing and one thing only,
Yeah.
They can find some bread when they need to find it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you don't have to work for it.
and you ain't
No,
got.
they can constitute. They can justify the funding and seamlessly. They pull it from, and they can still pull it from the lower to satisfy the higher.
Well, we missed one.
So no, I was going to get to it because this is what he's. All right, so this is what Community Solutions Pro said, and then I was going to come back up with what he said. Says
Okay.
we have race. We know racism exists per color. However, I speak of doing things the right way. But see, this is
Mhm.
America, and doing things the right way is doing things the white way. And so this is what continues to be the issue. That's why, even though, like, I always love to tell the story. I've never smoked weed a day in my life, but when I sat as a councilwoman on the Coconut Grove Village Council, I was a part of a couple of different uh, efforts to get the use of hemp as well as the use of medical marijuana uh, able to be cited as a fine within our community, as opposed to making it being criminally prosecutable. And this is why, like, never smoked, so it wasn't about, oh, this is in my best interest. But what I can recognize is, because it's on the books as being illegal, this opens up the groundwork for many of people that look just like me to be wrongfully incarcerated for this, not just fined or not just arrested, but incarcerated for this same violation that others are able to literally pay a fine and walk away from. And so this is why it was important or significant to me to be able to be instrumental in the efforts of drafting those resolutions. The same thing with it goes for this with the immigration case. This is not just about, okay, America, because this is never just going to be about a clean cut case when it comes to America and Americans. This is about absolutely it being justifiable when it's a color of an immigrant. And so, with making sure that immigrants have a free pass into this country, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Open up the walls to make sure that these are also, you know. But if we're gonna be doing the picking and choosing, then I'm gonna go on the side of what Trump was on. Nobody comes in then.
I'm gonna,
No, nobody comes in.
hold up. What the government
So
is what?
what the government is doing with Ukraine is
Is
criminal.
and,
Agreed.
and see, okay, in what
Yeah.
aspect? In what aspect? Because listen, check this out. Um, I think it was Killer Mike that said this,
Mhm.
and I had never heard it until I never heard it put that way, and then it just made me like read. Like, I mean, I
Right.
always felt like, look, if you in power, you look out for your own.
Right.
So this is who's in power. These are the powers that be. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna look out for their own.
Right.
So white man looks out for white man. Chinese look out. The Asian looks out for the Asian. And so on and so forth.
Right.
And I think it was Killer Mike. He said, "Listen, he said the problem is that racism." He said racism isn't the problem. The problem is that black folk don't have enough of it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And he was right. Because listen, I want you to think about it like this: on a smaller scale, we're not even talking government. Let's just talk. You at the office, right? You in a position of power. Supervisor. Night shift manager, whatever, right? Cuz work down the hallway. Little sis work, downstairs on the second floor. So you like, nah, look, little sis job's trash. Come on up here with me and square your way, make sure you're good. Cuz, look, you're gonna change shifts, you're gonna come on my shift, we're gonna run this whole show. What's the difference?
Hmm.
You're gonna look out for your own.
Right.
This is what they
Right.
doing.
Right. Right.
I mean, like you and listen, listen, I say this and I'm gonna say it again and say it all the time. Freedom isn't given; it's taken.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
Yeah.
Point blank. I mean, at some point, we got to get tired of complaining and talking about some, we share a little bit, come and it's kumbaya bullshit.
And thinking that our vote is just going to save us.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it ain't. Listen, man. This is a
Yeah,
system.
we've got to get active.
This is a system that can't really be changed from the inside. What's the saying? You can't
Dismantle the master's house
while you inside.
By using his tools. Yeah.
Oh yeah, while using his tools.
Yeah.
Can't burn the house down while you're inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't do it. Right. Can't do it. So what you saying? What they doing was criminal? I'm not too sure. Maybe criminal on the books, but
look out
for your own.
I'm glad you set it off. Community solutions. God dang, I'm glad you set it off.
God damn, I'm glad y'all. That's the best opening line ever.
It is. It's pretty hot. But yep, look at Montgomery. People tired. Listen, they ain't too tired because let me tell you, as many memes and posts that were popping up, these people was talking about how they walking into work. No, when you're really tired, you ain't going back to work. No, when you're really tired, you ain't going over to Chick-fil-A.
Or McDonald's.
No, when you really tired, you ain't talking about, well, I still gotta catch that sale at Walmart. And I'm gonna go buy up these folding chairs at Walmart. He. When you really tired, you ain't paying rent no more. Like, this is what happens when you really tired. When you really tired, you standing up. Literally. Standing up. And you saying, whatever comes with me when the guards come to be like the moms of Magnolia over there in California. When the guards come, you got 100 people out there saying, you can't evict these moms. This is what happens when a community is really tired. Until then, we talking. Too many of us are just talking. We talking and it sounds good and it's funny and we writing that.
And
but please,
it's funny that you said you opened with that Cube line.
Yeah.
Because in that movie High Learning,
yeah,
Ace Cube said something that's extremely profound. After they whooped up on Remy and his crew,
yeah,
in the cafeteria or wherever the hell they was at, they was in there, cheering, and he was like, "Look, y'all happy? We won one fight, one beatdown. Y'all happy?"
Yeah, they got
how many hundreds of years?
Yeah,
and this is the same thing. It's one fight.
It's one fight.
One fight.
Yeah.
And listen, this.
It was great.
But wait a second. Wait a second. Let's be clear about something.
Yeah.
Let's be perfectly clear about something. The only reason this is different from any other fights because it was filmed.
Yeah.
Listen, I grew up in the Bronx. With the school in the Bronx. It's like maybe I can count on one hand how many white kids was in that school. Well, now it wasn't no more than 10. It wasn't no more than 10 kids, white kids. Well, my freshman year, after a while, some more filtered in. But at any one time, it's less than 20. My 4 years I was in there, it was less than 20 kids, white kids in there. And every now and then one get a little brolic. And he had to be put down hard. And they was always put down hard. So this is not nothing new. I went to DeWitt Clinton High School. You from New York, you from the Bronx, you already know where I'm coming, where I'm about to go with this. Right? DeWitt Clinton High School. High school, Bronx Science, Lehman College, Wharton High School. All on the same line. We all travel the same train line. Jerome Avenue, 4 train. Bronx Science, specialized school, bunch of smart kids. So there's a few white students that go there, quite a few. They caught hell, terror. I mean, they had to be scared to death to get on that train. Because we get on the train first, they get on. Wharton is next. Wharton, one of the worst schools in the borough. And we terrorize them kids every chance we got. Don't come on that train with a Walkman. This is way back when we used Walkmans. You got to walk. You got to put that thing in your bag. Better not show. You losing that. And if you white, you get punched in the face while it happened. So this is not a new phenomenon. It's not. It was just filmed.
Yeah, and I agree. And thank you so much for telling folks to hit the like. Thank you so much, Community Solutions.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. But I agree with Iron here. You all, we have a few more minutes. We have 10 more minutes here, but I agree with what Iron is saying. My sister, that would not be a catalyst, just a watershed moment. I
Exactly.
agree. I agree. This is just going to be something for us to talk about, and also too, I'm all about giving credit where credit is due. Um, you know, let me just say this. The same way we were just so glad that all of us kind of came from all different angles and just really helped each other out. Those white people stood their ground too, and I will say this too, that they were clearly outnumbered, but there are too many places in these spaces that they are not. It goes a different way. It goes a
Absolutely.
different way. And guess a major place that they are not outnumbered are on these work sites. On these job sites, if you are working a job, there is a 70% chance that you are working for someone that is not your color, okay, is not your race. And then if you are paying rent to someone, there is an 80% chance my boy swam across the dock. Yeah, and all of that was very, like I said, all of that was very it was amazing. Like it was, and I dare say this, and I've been saying this in a couple of places, and I don't want to be called a hater and everything, but it very much gave a movie scripted type of rundown. It really, really did. I mean, because who gets in a fight and throws their hat up like that? Never seen that.
You know what that was? I'm gonna tell you what that was. That was arrogance. He thought he had old boy because the old dude was probably drunk, so
Uh-huh.
he thought he had him.
Yeah.
So, oh, this what you want to do?
But
But
I've
then
never even
when
seen that. But I've never seen nobody just throw their hat up straight like that. Like I've seen.
graduation,
Was that graduation
yeah,
moment?
he graduated to a punch in the face.
No. And that's what I keep saying too. And the co-captain, brother, you could tell he wasn't trying to throw no hits. He was just trying to kind of move weight. Um, it was just like it very much seemed like there was a lot going on for people not to get hurt. You know, the chairs on top of
Yeah,
heads,
because
and they showed her like her nose looked pretty,
Cody,
discombobulated,
listen,
but
like I've told you,
yeah,
like listen,
people don't want to
most
get
people
hit.
don't want to
Yeah,
get hit. Most
they
people
don't want to
don't
get
want
hit.
to fight. Period.
Yeah,
Okay, but every now and then you come across somebody like, nah,
yeah,
I want to get busy. I don't mind getting punched in the face. Because fighters know sometimes you got to take when it get too in.
I agree, but it
And
seemed like
but
there was
see,
a lot of
but see,
right.
like okay, with the hat,
Yeah,
what he was thinking was he didn't think it was gonna go that far. He didn't think, oh boy, because it was just a push at the time,
mhm,
and a little whatever, like a scuff, right? It's a drunk dude. He probably dealt with drunks before. A lot of times, like I did security in the casinos, like with drunks, like like you push them, and then they see that he might be strong. Let me chill. This ain't gonna win this.
right.
But when the white boy kept advancing, and then his man came with the flying knee, he didn't think it was gonna go that far. So a lot of times when you get these guys who don't want to fight, they make a big grand gesture, and that was his gesture. It was
Oh, that was his gesture.
yeah.
Got it. No,
So
I know that we're
like,
we're
oh, you
we're
want to
we
go?
are in
Let's go.
concentrated
Yeah.
numbers in certain areas. Yeah, come on. I'm just moved up from Atlanta. I get it, but what I'm saying is that we are not. These are in pockets. They're not. They're not as. They're not as consistent. State to state as we would hope or need them to be. And then sometimes in these areas where there are the black people in concentrated areas, they are not vibing on the same frequency. They're trust me, in some places that situation goes down, there's going to be a lot of black people that just are watching, a
It
few
was
black people,
anyway.
and it sure
Everybody with
was
them
even
phone, they
in.
was black.
And you know
There
what
was a
I was
whole bunch of black people.
what I said to
When that
that
boat docked, only like 4 or 5 people jumped off initially.
initially, yeah, but
Like the
then
one, like dude was still tying off, and dude hopped off, and he went right down there. another one followed them. Then once they saw them going, then some dudes with no
Then it
shirts.
opened up
Then they
more.
came. Yeah, they came from off the back.
Right. But
So
that's
I
what
mean,
I'm
it's not
saying.
like
Like
it ain't.
we
They were still watching.
we are not, as Malcolm always said, and this was a great show of us being, not outnumbered and not out organized, because it was just like everybody kind of took a silent cue. But I tell you, verily I say unto you, you can probably, if you think, there have been situations in your own personal life where other black people could have jumped in or should have jumped in to come to your aid, and they watched. I can think of like for two situations myself right now where after the fact somebody came over and said, hey, if it would have gotten a little worse, if something would have happened, I would have done this and done that. But they had nothing to say while it was going down. Nothing to say. And one of my major things that I always talk about is that when I was on that dais, and when I was up there representing my community and needed, people to kind of show up and show out, and they would not do it. Those bros and sisters put in work. They did. They did. That's why I said I love watching it. And even if it does, like I say, even um if it does not set off a chain reaction, it in itself was it was more than just entertainment. It was empowerment. It was an empowering moment to see that. And then it's been just a lot of hilarity seeing what has transpired since then. We see Luther Vandross's song back on top. A house is not a house, a chair is not a chair, a house is not a home. So it's been great fodder. But what are we going to do with it? Now that we found this energy, what are we going to do with it? Again, we're hosting Labor Day weekend where we can actually have discussions and talk about executing solutions. We're hosting a Labor Day weekend camp out cookout, because I'm really big on just not letting moments just be, fleeting. And I just would hate for this to happen with this, because it has such an opportunity. But for us to be sitting around and nearly a week later, and like I said, I have not seen people walking off jobs in droves. I have not seen any economical boycott started. I have not seen, only thing I have seen is that, people are getting the GoFundMe together for, not GoFundMe. They are getting GoFundMe together for, I think, the somebody black that was arrested, but they're sending cash apps to the Aquaman,
Yeah.
the black Aquaman. They're sending cash apps to him, and that's cool to see. That's cool to see, but yet you got a single mom over here, 5 kids, and needed some help so that she won't get evicted, and nobody can put together $50. But we can send, we can make sure that this young man, and don't get me wrong, like 16 years old, did a great grand gesture to say, hey,
you saw the other part of that video?
yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw it. He was
today.
holding them up. He was knocking them. He was DDTing. He was doing his thing. And so I did see it. But the thing of it is that, like I said, we it's amazing to see what we can support. Like, I'm seeing how many people are literally saying they aren't paying rent so they could go to a Beyonce concert. But yet and still, like I said, we're having too many of us that are literally getting evicted and moms on the street. And instead of going to that Beyonce concert, how about helping this, because you're not paying your rent anyway. So you guys have a venue that you'll be hosting? Yes. Will it be live? We probably will have certain segments of it live, yeah, but we're not going to do the whole thing. But it is, yes, it's a campsite. We actually we manage a campsite, and so we live in a deluxe lodge, and we have about 10 to 13 camp spaces for campers to come and set up. It's free food for the ones that register to camp. And then we're having a cookout that Saturday, and the cookout is just open. Anyone can come to on that Saturday, that Labor Day Saturday. And then everything commences and wraps up on that Sunday. So therefore, you can still enjoy your Labor Day Monday elsewhere. Don't have to be here. I have not left my job, but I heavily buy black, so my money turns over at a black-owned grocery, beauty supply, dispensary, restaurants, etc. And that's beautiful, and that is definitely beautiful. I'm going to highlight that and leave that up. But we have to understand that how few we are that have that type of consistency.
What was it? Um, the black dollar stays in the black neighborhood. How long?
Hour, like not like and
It's
maybe
like
it's like
three
an hour.
hours.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half. It's not even 2 hours.
I forget because we had just seen. Remember we? Oh man, it was crazy because I had just seen that stat.
Oh,
This was earlier this year, and
yeah, and I'll put the website up. You can go and check the website. We have two websites where you can get tickets through. We have P4R.today. That's our business website. And then we have Colored Only Cafe. That is the food business website that you can. It's a little further buried than Colored Only Cafe, but
P4R
P4R is right at
boom,
yeah,
right at
it's
the
right.
top.
It's right at the top.
So right, I think it was what about 500? What's that check? 500.
Which one?
What dancer? Well, the watch or the money. I think it was like 500. Whatever
You
it
talking
was.
for your birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
500.
So look, right.
That was
So
awesome.
it was like and this is no cat, no exaggeration.
Paid the
That money,
car.
I went and
Yeah.
got the car service, right?
Yeah. We didn't even go to dinner.
No.
We got a hotel
And it was like
for what, 3 nights?
it was
Yeah.
less than an hour.
Yeah.
And I think I had like about $100 left.
Yeah, it was like 90. We didn't even go to dinner.
But we did end up getting $100 of that back though. Remember
Yeah,
from the
but that
what's
was
the name?
like a week later.
Yeah, like yeah. And then that was pretty much spent before.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Yeah, that was spent before it even came back. But the fact that you recycle them dollars back into the into black neighborhoods, whatever it is, or black businesses, I should say.
Yeah.
But it's not enough of us doing that.
No.
There's too many of us hitting McDonald's.
And then let's be clear too, and that's why I like to give both of our businesses and both of our sites, because y'all, let me just break this down real clear, so that you can kind of get some type of I think visual understanding. We may say supporting black businesses, foods, restaurants, but you would have to eat at a black restaurant 7 times a week. So that's literally every day for it to turn a profit after 2 years. So think about the type of support when you say you love, because I know plenty of people say, oh, I support black businesses. I go to this black restaurant twice a year. We go for my birthday and we go for, my mom's birthday or my husband's birthday or my spouse or my child's birthday. And it's the best food, and it's the best food. You literally would have to eat at that restaurant every day for it to, and also too, let's also, just another heads up, you do not have to be, that's why I put up both of our business sites there. You don't have to be, if you're thinking, oh well, I can't really eat the food, so what's the point in supporting P4R.today? If you can just even take out a newsletter subscription, that is $16.19 for the whole year. Yeah. $16.19 for the whole year. And that website is right up there. You can take out a newsletter subscription. It is $16.19 for the whole year. It's called The Village Voice. It comes straight to your inbox once a month. By the 6th or the 7th of every month, it comes to your inbox. So thank you so much, Iron, for your statement there too. There are a lot of black businesses where you live, but you try to support, and trust me, and I'm not trying to diminish anybody's efforts, but I don't think that we clearly have a good grasp of how much has support has to come in literally from us in order to keep our black businesses not just alive but thriving. This is why so many black businesses do fold and close, because we'll get a bump. We get, like, I remember I was a part of this group that would do. They called them brunch mobs, and every month we would choose a black business that we would go all brunch at. And some of them were big. Some of them they were like 13 or so of us attended. Some of them they were like 20 or so attended. But after about a year, we weren't people didn't want to meet. They're out of their money. Things happen. And y'all, we have to also realize too that we tax us to support us when we're the most underpaid. We pay the most for rent. We are health wise, there are a lot of things that go on. We're the most unprotected when it comes to health insurance coverage, but still we want to pull from us because that's what feels like it makes the most sense. So we've got to start looking at these things from all these different angles, and then see, okay, it may be more feasible to say, hey, again, like taking out a subscription, 1619 is better than saying, hey, when I get up $200, I'm gonna get a membership to the campsite. you know do what you can while you can, because trust me, it'll always be something else that comes up that takes that money. And now all of a sudden, like, I have a friend, she's been talking about investing in our business for like 2 years. She's gonna buy a membership for 2 years. And she like I said, she's helped here and there with other things, but she's never been able to buy a membership. um okay.
Man,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, bringing, your churches and schools and yeah, okay, sure, that's cool.
Yeah.
But listen, let me tell you something. Here's the thing, right? When you open up a restaurant, you in the red
Yeah.
for two
For
years
2 years at least.
before you turn a profit. 2 years. Now,
No.
there might be some exceptions to this rule. Them restaurants that go boom, like
Yeah.
overnight sensations, whatever. But that's far and wide, because like even the big name restaurants, they in the red for 2 years. They don't see no bread, no profit. 2 years.
Yeah.
And this is the norm. This is the norm. This is
That's the norm. And also too, I think a lot of people don't realize how much overhead restaurants, especially if they don't own the spot that
yeah.
they're renting out. Look at Darius Cooks. If anybody's familiar with him, he was a very, very popular um uh uh media influencer, social media influencer, and he was a cook. And he had, he was making about $1 million. His restaurants were grossing $1 million. I think he had two.
Expose.
Yeah, that's what I said. Interesting choice of words. So no
Yeah.
exposés, but no, we haven't gotten
Yeah,
coverage.
Dateline ain't not gonna do it
Yeah, we ain't doing nothing. We ain't doing nothing expose worthy. But no, we haven't gotten that type of coverage, and I know that's very interesting, especially with me being a person that is a member of the media. But yeah, it's just I did pretty well when we were in Atlanta. We're just now getting our footing going here in Athens, and we've had to take a little step back
Athens
a
a
bit.
whole nother animal.
It is.
God dang.
And then we had to take a little step
Woo.
back a bit, but yeah, we're trying to regroup, and I think that with basically working with an exclusive audience like the campers and the
That's
village
exactly
members,
why.
we'll be able to move ahead.
Talk about the food truck. That's exactly why. Not only that, but ain't no rent.
Yeah,
No rent.
exactly.
I mean, listen, like, and this is for any business. 9 times out of 10, your biggest expense is gonna always be your rent.
Your
If
rent.
you don't own your spot, it's gonna be your rent.
Yeah.
And depending on exactly what you're selling or what your product is, um, that'll probably be your second, if not the first. But rent is gonna be one of the two.
Yeah.
Gonna be one or two.
Yeah.
So if you can eliminate that,
and
half the
then
battle.
what I'm finding a little bit more, more and more too, is that sometimes people get these food trucks too, and they have these illusions of grandeur, but they're sitting on them, because food trucks in itself, you gotta gas
One
them.
old girl said she paid 50 grand
50,000 for the build out,
for the
customized
build
food
out.
truck. But
So she
you
probably
have to
that's
drive.
probably a loan.
Yeah, maybe.
So that's
And
kind of
she's working at the
somewhat.
bank, so
Yeah.
surely. So they have to pay for gas and these and the upkeep, because this is a commercial kitchen, literally, that you're driving around. So you're not just pulling up at just like corners, you're trying to do festivals, you're trying to mix it up, and it becomes another job. And I think sometimes people get these food trucks and they think that eventually they're going to get to it, but immediately they're thinking that it's just going to be, they're going to pull it out when they need to. But it's literally, just imagine again a restaurant that was just open, you know when festivals came around, or when a big event came around. You don't have the consistency, but you do have the illusions of grandeur, that you can make a big hit in a short amount of time, but you don't have necessarily the following if you haven't been constantly working a network, so to speak. So a lot goes into it. I've always said, when it comes to me in the food business, I never wanted to do something that I was just going to be chained to the stove, but if it was something that I could mix in with something else and just um, do it creatively and with cultural sound, then that's what I'm looking for. But just not that. Look at, like I said, businesses that are pretty prevalent in our communities. I think Community Solutions Pro, you brought up the beauty supply stores or the beauty salons, places like that. So it just makes sense. So I'm apparently talking to myself. Hey, my daughter. Hello, hello. Yes. And you know what? We're about to get off, and you need to be going. Oh, it's Friday. Shoot.
She
You
still
need to
need
be
to go
going
to
to
bed. Go
bed.
to bed.
Yeah, go to bed because you have work tomorrow. Yes. I love to see my babies on here. I'm not even gonna lie. And also too, it's just cute just to see them once they get older. They're getting older and they're jumping on without me having to tell them to jump on. And they in the same house. That's what's funny. Yeah, and the thing of it is that we do say that we need to be doing these things in groups and mobs, but like, for example, the new Black Wall Street Market, there are plenty of times we've gone there and it's just been totally dead. It's very rarely that we go and there's just it's flooded. But I see that in recent months they've been doing a whole lot better because they're doing karaoke. But I don't know how well that's translating to sales of with their shops, because we I just think, like I said, sometimes it's overwhelming to us to think that we're going to support us when we are also the most overworked, most underpaid, and the unhealthiest. And so this is why we get people that say, I want to, help you do this. But then when you look up, it takes them 2 months to send $25. This has happened. This has happened.
I think I don't
Oh,
know. I think we just be why don't they keep on? You know what?
no.
I'm about to go in this kitchen.
All right. So,
But wait, let me see you back. Okay,
yeah,
so
we're
like
gonna be shutting down
I
soon.
think
So
yeah,
your
but I
final
think
thoughts.
I don't know, man, somebody before these black business prices just be too damn high. I mean, I get it, you trying to, but I'm like you like I don't think they understand. who your core, your core your customer base is. Like
they think we get it because again, a few of us are going to these Beyonce concerts, and a few of
yeah,
us
but
are
okay,
buying these
I
bundles.
give you a prime
Our
example.
priorities are messed up.
You know, the girl with the T.
Yeah, I know.
Yo,
That's
her tea is
amazing.
special.
Yeah, she's at
Special.
the New Black Wall Street Market as
Listen,
well.
I'm a tea drinker. Look, I just finished off a gallon of tea. Been drinking tea for the last 4 days? Non-stop. I'm a tea drinker, love tea. And if I say your tea is exceptional, trust and believe your tea is exceptional. Her tea is exceptional. But you know what? I can't afford it. I can't afford a tea. I can't. And I'm sitting like, yo, why? Like, why? It don't have to be this expensive. It don't.
But
But
it may,
but but
in
listen.
order
But
to
here's the
keep.
thing, though.
But when you find out how much it is for her to stay in her booth,
Exactly.
yeah,
And I was about to get to
that's
that.
what it is.
So now here it is, right? New Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
What they doing to these vendors is see, I hate that I'm about to do this, but sometimes it needs to be said because nobody really says it.
Hood says, to be honest, he's a teaholic. Yes, yes.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's not even a real word.
It's
It's
a
not
real
even a real
word.
word. So
And listen, you are not the person's daughter. You are the woman's daughter. Okay, thank you. The person's daughter. What is that? What is that?
Anyway, so
That is my daughter. I'm mom.
what New Black Wall Street is doing to these vendors is like somebody need to be dragged out behind the building and be with a golf
Come
club.
on, really?
No, yes,
Really?
yes.
Like that?
Because how you gonna call yourself New Black Wall Street? All your vendors is black and you treat them the way they treat them. You kidding me? Y'all literally pricing them out. That's what y'all doing. And what's gonna end up happening is y'all gonna close your doors because you're not gonna be able to do what y'all need to do. It's all about the return business. If your return business don't return, guess what? No business. No business. Listen, you treat it like the block. Treat it like the block. It's all about the re-up. Ain't nobody coming to re-up. Guess what?
Naima. There goes. That was actually a thought of name for my daughter too. I think I told you that, Naima. Yeah.
But what they doing to them is crazy though. It's bad. Like
it's very expensive, and I've known a few, really good vendors that just weren't able to keep up with the pricing and just had to come out. But this person has been able to stay, and so
because a bag of tea costs $16,
and it's delicious. It's absolutely delicious.
Listen, tea is like this is the best tea I've
alien. Really? Naima, you're playing. You're playing right into her palm. She loves this type of stuff.
Yeah, she gonna keep going. Yeah, you gonna have stuff in your inbox,
man. Mom, I found another alien. You are not an alien, please. Okay, so Iron asked when we're gonna be on again. We're on every day. Usually we try to do earlier in the day, so we're going to.
What's tomorrow? Saturday.
Tomorrow is Saturday.
See, I don't know what time because I got some trees that got cut down, so if I can we can do it early.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely not gonna do early. I'm gonna sleep so far in tomorrow. Like so far in. I'm sleeping in.
Why?
Because I want to. Because I was supposed to sleep in today and somebody would not let me.
What are you talking about? You had to go to the school.
I'm talking about after. Somebody said, "Oh, because it's not, we on," and that is not okay. And so
because you had to get up in the morning, so I let you go and sleep.
No. Listen, I'm going to sleep in this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep and enjoy my sleeping. But we'll be on sometime tomorrow. But I really appreciate y'all for. This was a great discussion, y'all. Please go and get a subscription. Our late afternoon, it probably will be about this time, like maybe about 10 or 11. Yeah.
Man, you know, my wood, I'll be looking.
Saturday night.
I might be over here.
Yeah. To be honest, probably 6. What? Listen, alien. I don't need you asking. I don't need you asking. They used to get on at 4 6. Listen, you are not. Who are you? Who are
You don't
you?
even know that.
You won't
What
even
you
be
talking
here.
about?
You'll be at work. So how do you know? It was good. Thank you, Iron. It was. Please hit that link, y'all. Please go to the website. Please pick up a newsletter subscription. It really does help more than what you know. Like I said, don't wait until like literally I have like two people that for the past 2 months that are supposed to have been getting a subscription and they're like, oh, they're gonna wait until and what are you waiting for? 1619. Oh really? I'll rub your
Not my
This is
knee. I said my
this
neck.
was time well spent. Yep. Why that late? Because Niani, I want to sleep in. You know, I had to get up at 6 o'clock this morning
She's
and
right in the kitchen.
leave.
Why you talking to her?
Right.
What you
I'm
doing?
coming for you
You
right
know what?
now.
I'm out of here. Listen.
Yeah.
Peace, love, happiness.
And
Same bat channel, same bat time.
wow.
So
Tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of
soul.
dolls. No, you don't need to know peace, love, and soul. Stop that.
That's not.
No, we have our own thing.
Oh,
So
I
why are
bung
you?
because you did it wrong last time.
No, I was
still
the
doing
other
it.
way. Yeah. See, I'm good. No, but it's better when we do it this way.
Yeah,
Because
but
then we can do it ourselves.
yeah, but it's so you. All right, wait. I gotta get the titties.
Yeah, bum bum. He said, "See, Iron agrees. She has a point. The early the better. Okay, we'll try early. I'll see how late I'm
I don't
sleeping
know
in.
because